afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak. Beautiful day here in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course. And we've got a pretty nice carryover in the Rainbow Six today, which starts in race number 4. We have a 9-race card this Friday. So races 4 to 9. Make sure you mark that down. $23,000, almost $24,000 in the pool. We don't have a carryover in the Super High Five yesterday because they did it again. Somebody hit it for $24,000 yesterday. I am still amazed, but we got the Rainbow Six today, so that's races 4 through 9. Nice day, right?
It's a beautiful day. Can't get enough of this. I'll never complain.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been, we had a little rain last night, like for 2 seconds, and I think it's going to really help the turf course and the main track today, tighten it up. It was very little rain, and we've got a fast main track. Firm turf course. First race today on Friday afternoon. 6 furlong claimers, 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life or straight 3-year-olds. If you're a 3-year-old in that race, means you could have more than those 2 wins. So it's just to get more horses into the race and compete. And we have no scratches or jockey changes to report. And we both started off in here with number 5, Hunda Carrero.
Well, he's in such great form right now. Followed up his maiden-breaking victory with a game-no score against $25,000 claimers. That was up at Tampa on April 17th. And now, even though he's on a 2-race win streak at a higher level, he's dropping in class to come down here. I think that's a great move by trainer Efren Loza Jr. because the competition's likely to be stiffer here than it was up there. I think he's in a great spot. And Loza, 31% with horses that won their last start.
Yeah, I was just going to say that Efren Loza has some really nice statistics. He did a good job. He was down here during our, during the beginning part of the winter meet. Went up to Tampa, does an excellent job, and the horses train most of the time across town at Gulfstream Park West. We're in a perfect agreement in our first race. The second horse I have is number 7, Bellamy Chief, and this one moved to the Jolly. That's a coupleless barn. Be the claim and wears blinkers. After getting parked 6 wide in that race on the turn when finishing sort of a disappointing 7th in the race. He was the odds-on choice. It was against Similar. I'm sort of forgiving him because the level of competition today, I think there'll be more to his liking. He was parked wide last time out, and he's got apprentice Tyler Gaffleone, and we've been talking over the last couple of days. The kid's been riding in great form. He's actually our leading rider right now at the spring-summer meet.
Yeah, he's riding so well right now. Had 4 winners last week. Won his first stake. Doing great. And I like this horse, like you mentioned. I'm going to give him another chance, too. Disappointed last time out as the favorite. I like the addition of blinkers. Maybe that will help him get more involved early because last time out he just seemed to be off the bridle a little bit. He's run well against tougher. He figures very well in this race.
Well, number 3, Speed Trap, is turning back to 6 furlongs after chasing the pace and tiring late. He finished 5th behind a pair of next out winners, so it was sort of a key race. It was $12,500  2 lifetime claimers going 7 furlongs. Upstate at Tampa Bay, and if you're not aware, Tampa Bay has closed for the season. A lot of horses that were running up there, come down here for the spring-summer session, and now it's our job to figure out, what level and where they belong.
Yeah, I think this one definitely belongs in the race. Figures well. I like the key for me with this horse is the cut back in distance. The last time he sprinted, he finished a very solid 2nd.
Well, let's go to race number 2 today. It's a 1-mile starter optional claimer for 3-year-olds. $50,000 the claiming level. We're going to have 6 runners going to the post. And we're going to go back and show you a race from March 25th. And it is of Festida's son. It's a pretty nice horse.
This is a pretty nice horse. I like him a lot. And this is 2 starts back from him. And what I thought was a very strong performance. You're going to see him. He is the number 2, and he is going to make a nice 4-wide bid, takes the lead there, very confidently handled, and he is going to take that lead all the way to the end. And what I really liked about this race, take a look at the horse on the outside. That is a horse named Rizwan, and he's going to come running late, but Fastidia's son is going to hold him off. Rizwan has won 4 straight on the turf, won the English Channel Stakes here last weekend on Saturday. A very, very nice horse that can run on both dirt and turf, and he held him off. Last time out, Fastidia's son Man, he ran against Royal Squeeze, a stakes winner, Mr. Jordan, a two-time stakes winner, and My Point Exactly, another stakes winner. He's going to have some class relief in this spot, and I think he's the class of the field himself.
Yeah, that race was the $60,000 Tarpon Springs, as you mentioned, finished fourth in there. We both went with the 4 and second. Your Dreams of Mine has run well at this distance in the past. 2 previous races, no wins yet, but 1 second in there. Stretches out after a trio, I thought, of solid sprints against this same caliber of competition. Trainer Billy Kaplan has his go-to jock Juan Laver atop the son of Mr. Segaguchi, and I just thought that horse with the stretch out and the company lines has been keeping it figures in this spot.
Yeah, another who's run against some very nice horses. Last time out, he was fourth behind the Todd Pletcher trained Chippet, who's undefeated, and Grand Billy, a very impressive maiden winner first time out, and it looks like Grand Billy is going to be heading up to Maryland to contest the Preakness.
Yeah, it's going from here to the Preakness, so these horses keeping some nice company. How about the number 2, Blackwater Charlie? Got to do a little research here. This one was second to Fastidious Sun, when both were maidens back on February 12th. Now he's going to try and make it 2 in a row at the distance after dueling in that race last time out from start to finish and holding on gamely. Defeat $60,000 maidens last time out. I'm thinking that's a pretty nice level. This horse was second to Fastidious Sun back on February 12th, so why not come up there? I don't know what it is on the morning line. 10 to 1 in the morning line. A little bit of a price there to start your early first pick for the day.
I threw in the 3 Cool Union Man, another horse that knows Fastidious Sun well. He finished third behind him and Rizwan in that race. He's dropping back down to the allowance race after finishing 7th in a state-bred stake up at Tampa on April 4th. I liked him because he's run very well at this distance, a win and a third in his 2 starts at a mile.
Yeah, I'm mad at him because I picked him a couple of times and he hasn't run well, so I'm not going to pick him today. So you know he's going to win just by me saying that. Let's flip the page and go to race number 3. We're going to the turf course. If you heard us at the top of the show, the turf course is listed as firm. And another thing, the Rainbow Six does not start here Wednesday and Thursday. We had 8 race cards. You got to wait till the next race. This is the penultimate race before the Rainbow Six, and this one, as I mentioned, 5 on the grass. I went with number 3, Bellamy Storm. Set pressured fractions last time out of 21-3 and 43-3 before getting nipped at the wire in his recent outing at this level and distance. His biggest challenge, Katie, is going to come from the horse that we have, and you have a third and I have a second, Running Alone. And I'm thinking you went with the 5. The battle is on. Thinking this one's going to sit the trip behind that speed, that scenario.
Absolutely, and I think I really like the cut back in distance to 5 furlongs. Last start was the first time he cut back to this distance, and he came away with a nice 2.5 length victory. That was against $20,000 claimers. He's going to look to stay unbeaten at this distance. I just think it suits him very well, and he's even taking a slight class drop for this start, so why can't he do it again? Should be fresh and had a really nice blowout for this race last Saturday. And again, like you mentioned, think he's going to sit the trip in here. There's a good amount of speed that should set him up well in Nantucketeer, Bellamy Storm, and Running Alone.
Yeah, Running Alone is the son of easy. He breaks from the rail today. As I mentioned, he dueled with Bellamy Storm. Those fractions I mentioned were sizzling, I was trying to say. 21-3 and 43-3 last time out. Juan Rodriguez is going to put a 7-pound apprentice, Harry Hernandez, to ride as Tyler Gaffleone. I know you like this angle. Moves to Bellamy Road. So we're playing musical jockeys here. We'll see how it works out. You also used the number 6, as you mentioned, in the Nantucketeer. One of the horses that's going to be prominently placed.
Yeah, he will be. He's entering this race off a win, though, as well. That was against $16,000 claimers on April 15th. Love the connections. Trainer Michael Petro. That was a nice wire-to-wire win. So, again, he's going to be forwardly placed, and he's not the lone speed. So we'll see how things play out on the front end. But he is 4 for 5 in the money at Gulfstream, and Edgar Prado's going to be aboard. I'm sure he's not going to let him fizzle out too early.
Well, you know, in these races are so hard to figure out what the pace scenario is going to be. On paper, it looks like, you know, the 1 and the 3 are going to be up there running and trying to kill each other. But, you know, the trainers and the jockeys read the racing form just like we do and say, you know, maybe we'll take back. So a lot of times we say, this one looks like the speed, and all of a sudden you see the horse sitting a second flight trip. So I'm thinking in this race here, you know, you might want to go a little deeper in your exact and trifecta because it's hard to really pinpoint what's going to happen in there. But 5 horse, who I have in second, probably is the logical choice for sitting the trip in there. Let's go to race number 4, and this one is 1 mile on the turf. They are maiden claimers. They're 3-year-olds and up to $35,000. Scratch the horse I had on top of my ticket. That's the 3 Chili Bay. Jockey change on the number 5. Make the rider David Baracco. And please note that the number 6 horse in here will race with a first-time Lasix. And I went with number 1, Dreaming of Frank. And this one continues, well, I scratched into Dreaming of Frank, continues his descent through the maiden ranks after showing good early speed, tiring late. That was in back-to-back starts against better Mike Petro, Jonathan Gonzalez. It's the son of Curlin. And I had him in second, so I didn't think he was the horse to beat in here, but I moved him up into that top spot.
It doesn't say so up there on the board, but I do have Dreaming of Frank at the top of my ticket, and I had him on the top of my ticket from the get-go. And we're going to actually show you a video of him, and this is largely why I have him on the top of the ticket. This is a start from April 23rd. It's $50,000 maiden claimer, and I really love the effort of Dreaming of Frank in this race. He's the 4. He's going to put the pressure on another horse in here. That's Little Chris A from the Carla Vaccarezza barn. All the way around. They're in a duel there, and he's going to look like, to me, that he's falling behind. You see Little Chris A begin to draw away, and I thought Dreaming of Frank was done, but he's not. He's going to re-rally, and I was impressed by his tenacity that he showed. He was pretty game. He goes back to challenge for the lead. Both of those horses, Little Chris A and Dreaming of Frank, are going to end up getting caught by stock. He's going to get through along the rail. Perfect trip there. Dreaming of Frank finishes 3rd, but only beaten a length and 3/4. I just really liked that effort, and it was against Tupper. He's dropping for this start.
Yeah, I mean, with that, and I like him more with the scratch of the other horse, yes. Chili Bay, and I think he moves up.
I had Chili Bay in second.
The horse I had in second is, as you like it, a solid 3rd against $50,000 maidens at this 1 mile distance. That was back on March 26th. He drops, he turns back, he stalked the pace. He faded in that race. He finished 8th and last behind a really impressive horse, a Euro shipper called Cordero. That was at 9 furlongs. I think this horse was, highlighted by running against that horse. Didn't fare that well. Jenna Antonucci spots the son of Shakespeare perfectly against this level of competition, and I see you figured it out too. I went off the Cordero angle.
I did too. I think he fits in very well with this group and love him at this distance as well. He's run some of his better races at this mile distance.
Well, you have the number 7 in 3rd. I went with the number 4 running on Guinness with my long shot today in the race, and I actually moved him up a little bit, stretching out to a mile after a sort of, I thought, promising debut against Simler, going 7.5 furlongs. You know what? He went up and vied for lead. He weakened to get beat only 3 lengths. He's 12-1 on the line. He's not a horse that, I'm saying, oh, this horse is going to win the race. But when you get into the Rainbow Six, which starts in this race, horse like that you might want to use.
He certainly figures.
Right.
He's one that could get up there and give you some value. I think the 7 Vincent Chase could provide some value as well. He's 10-1 on the morning line from the Kathleen O'Connell barn. Going to make his Gulfstream debut, so there's the question mark. How is he going to take to the surface here? But he finished 4th against Simler in his last start up at Tampa. Set the pace and faded. That was going longer, a mile and a 16th. Going to cut back to a mile today, and this is also going to be his second start back from a 2-month layoff. I think those 2 factors can help him really move forward.
Well, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be back for race number 5 in just a couple of moments.
There's a new day dawning in Florida. Never before has a Breeders' Cup Classic winner retired to stud in the Sunshine State. Until now. Adena Springs presents 3-time Grade 1 winner and earner of over $4 million, Fort Larned. New to Adena Springs South.
We are back for race number 5, and we're going to go back to the main track. It is a 7 furlongs. It's on a fast track. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds and up. $10,000. Jockey change on number 2, Ratnick. Make the rider Manny Aguilar. We both went with the number 6, Handpicked. Handpicked today, Katie, stretching out to 7 furlongs. Rallied late. He finished 3rd and 2nd, respectively, against $12,500 types going longer. I think the added distance can help this son of High Cotton.
This is a horse that you really root for because he has run so well and come so close, but he's still looking for that elusive maiden win. He's hit the board in each of his last 6 starts with 4 seconds. That's both a positive and a negative, because does he want to get it done and take that last final leap to get that win? But I think this is a great spot for him, and he's going to be making his 3rd start off an extended layoff. He should be at his fittest today.
You know, number 1, Frank's Tracker, you have in 3rd, and I'm glad you do, and I have him in 2nd. Why? Because he's 10-1 in the morning line, and I think he figures nicely in here. He's dropping a notch in the maiden scale. He's cutting back to 7 furlongs in the main track. He stalked the pace. He weakened. He finished 6th, but it was against $12,500 maidens going a mile in the 16th on the turf. Trainer Gustavo Delgado, apprentice Tyler Gaffleone. It's a combination. It's a turn back, surface switch, and I just love that angle, turning back to 7 furlongs on the main track. And I'm glad you put him on the ticket, but you went with the horse I have in 3rd, number 3, Flashing Cat, in 2nd.
Yeah, this one finished a really encouraging 2nd in his career debut up at Tampa. That was on April 12th, going 5.5 furlongs against similar company. I think you can really build off of that effort. I threw in the 1 as well, and just really you cannot ignore the connections, cannot ignore Gustavo Delgado right now, a barn that's doing very well, but I think hand-picked really looks like the logical top choice.
Yeah, I agree 100%. He looks like the one to beat in there, and like you said, but does he have a little chandelier in him? Does he like to hang a little bit in the stretch? We'll see how that works out. 6th race this afternoon. Let's go back to the turf. This one is 1 mile. Claim is fillies and mares, 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life. Scratch the main track only participant, number 10, Miss Visconti. And we want to go back and show you a race from April 30th, and it's of Aunt Anna, who I did not use on my ticket, but I got to see the video that Katie pointed out, and maybe I made a mistake here.
I went and watched this race, and this was a wow moment for me. Look how much this horse has to steady. Goes from being in the picture to being out of the picture, and really is taken completely out of the race, almost pulled up. I just think this is a horse that I didn't put it on top of the ticket, but watching that race, I had to put it somewhere on the ticket, and just had to do so much stopping and going in that race. I think she can be in the mix late with a better trip.
Yeah, and that's nice to have. We just wanted to show you that, and that's a good angle to use when you're putting these multiple wager tickets together. But we did both go with number 3, Sky Blue and Black, cutting back to her best distance thus far. She's had 6 races at the distance with 1 win, but don't forget, these are non-winners of 2 lifetime. After knocking on the door against this caliber competition, consecutive races going a mile in the 16th. Antonio Sano, Edgar Prado, named to ride. Here's another one of these horses. You're waiting for this horse to get that elusive 2nd victory. Maybe with these different karma changes, today will be the day.
Yeah, she's hit the board in 8 of her last 9 starts when running for this $12,500 tag. Really an ultra-competitive horse at the level, but again, needs to get over that last hump to get that 2nd win. I wasn't sure I loved the cut back in distance because she's really been coming from off the pace, but her lone win didn't come in a mile, so that says something.
Yeah, and that's what I was looking for. I said maybe they're just going back where she's had some success to get the job done. Horse I put in 2nd is the 5-horse Starship OEM, on the board at 8-1 with Arnie Fontanez in the saddle. This one 3rd at this distance, was back on April 9th. Now turns back after making a middle move in that race, fading to finish 8 behind aforementioned Sky Blue and Black in their recent clash at a mile in the 16th. And a bit of a long shot play in here with this horse. I just thought maybe with that middle move, the shorter distance today, maybe can hold on for a piece of it.
I threw in the 1 Boston Garden, and she was gaining late in her last start on April 9th for trainer Ron Gaffney. That was at this level and distance. Prior to that start, the last time she ran for a tag that was similar to this, she won and broke her maiden here back in October. So I think she's in the right spot and just fits in among this group. She's faced tougher as of late.
Well, if you hear just the way we're talking here, this race to me is the absolute wide open race of the whole day, where you're going to have to go deep. And the other horse I used on my ticket, and you could see that Katie didn't use, and it's sort of a guess on my part, and that was the number 9 Red Waters, 5 for 7 in the money at a mile. Had 7 races, 1 win, 3 seconds in the 3rd, shortened up, rallied along the inside to finish 5th behind that. Common thread in that race, and that Sky Blue and Black going a mile in the 16th. That was back on April 4th. Chuck Carey's the trainer. trainer, Tevio Vargauer Jr. handling the rematch. I'm keying off Sky Blue and Black. I'm not sure Sky Blue and Black wants to win that second race, and the horses I put behind it have run behind this horse. So it's a little bit of a shaky situation as far as my handicapping goes. I know you did use, as we mentioned, Ann Allen. You showed why.
Yeah, well, I just think that the trip is going to come down to it. But she finished third in each of her 2 previous starts, so she has shown some form. I love what you said. I'm not sure Sky Blue and Black, even though we both have her on top and every other selection is different, she's not a sure bet because she hasn't shown that she wants to win. She's had, She's had things her way and hasn't been able to get it done. So I think this is definitely a race. When you're doing the Rainbow Six, you're doing the Pick 5, you need to go deep.
Yep. Let's go to race number 7. 6 furlongs, claimants 3 and up. Non-winners of 3 races in life or race since November 8th. That is 6 months, $12,500. And here's the complete reverse for me. Here's my best bet of the afternoon. And the single, not my single, I used 2 horses on my Rainbow Six ticket. And that is the 2 Pontos, and I'll tell you why. Dropping into this $12,500 condition claimer after dueling for the lead and fading to finish 7th. But it was a very strong $16,000 optional claimer up at Tampa Bay. Has produced a trio of next out winners. So 3 horses that were in that race have come back to win their next starts. We mentioned the trainer, Efren Loza Jr. He does a great job, and I think he spots this son of Tail of the Cat perfectly against non-winners of 3 lifetime competitions. So number 2, Pontos, going with the key race angle here. And like I say, one of the horses today, I thought I'd get a little better price. I thought nobody was going to find it, but second choice in the morning line, top of my ticket.
Lots to like about him. I actually did not put him on the ticket, though. Might be one that I missed, but lots to like about him. I put the 9 Bellstorm on the top of my ticket, and I think probably why I didn't use Pontos was because it's coming from out of town, and this is a horse that's been running here, and he's won 2 of his last 3 starts with a second in between for trainer Roderick Rodriguez. 4-year-old has yet to run a bad race on dirt. He's never finished off the board on the main track, and I'm really not sure why he just can't continue to do what he's been doing.
And number 5, CD Gold, this is the other horse I used on my ticket, and I'll tell you the one reason why. Kirk Zadie. He has been on fire. This one cuts back to 6 furlongs, getting some class relief. First starts and setting a pressured pace in his last race. Faded. That was against $10,000 optional claimants, going 7/8 of a mile. It was back on March 13th, but Kirk Zadie has him working strongly for the return. This barn has been unconscious. What are they, 8 for their last 11 or something?
9 for 11.
9
Just
for 11.
an amazing statistic. The only 2 losses, mind you, came on the grass, and this is not a grass race.
Right.
So I think you have to have CD Gold on the ticket somewhere. And you mentioned he's been working well. Turning a bullet to tune up for this race. Went 4 furlongs in 47-2. That's pretty sharp, especially for this level.
And as I was going to say, I remember when I was putting my ticket together, I said, I'm going to single Pontos, but then I saw CD Gold and wasn't able to do it. Also have the 9 Bellstorm for all the reasons you mentioned, but you also used the 6 Union Label.
Well, this is a horse that people have thought have had some quality in the past. A former $200,000 yearling purchase. He's going to run for a career low tag today after failing to hit the board in his last 2 starts. In starter allowances for trainer Gerald Pacino. Jose Caraballo is going to jump back aboard this colt. He rode him to some of his better finishes here during the championship meet this winter, so I like that move. He really should appreciate the class relief today, and he's a 3-time winner at the distance.
Well, let's go to race number 8, and this is the first half of our late daily double because we have a 9-race card. And why do I keep mentioning that? Because we want to make sure you get the Rainbow Six ticket in the right race. It starts in race number 4 today. Let's talk about race number 8. 5 furlongs on the turf, an allowance optional claimer. These are fillies, they're mares, they're 3-year-olds and up. They're $16,000 is the claiming tag, and there are 2 scratches. Number 6, Sweet Elegance, and the main track only participant, number 8, Silver Fog. And we both went with the number 5. We were exactly in agreement here. Upbeat Mood, dropping into the $16,000 optional claimer following a narrow defeat. That was against $25,000 optional claimers. Was back on March 22nd with a 5th place finish, but that was in a stakes race, an overnight stakes. Sunset, Marty Wolfson, Jonathan Gonzalez. Lots to like about the number 5, Upbeat Mood.
Yeah, she should definitely appreciate the class relief that she'll get today. And you mentioned that 2 starts back and that $25,000 optional claimer. I loved that effort. Made a 5-wide bid in that race at the top of the stretch. Ended up brushing with the eventual winner in that race, Sweet Tooth Sweetie, at the quarter pole. And gamely ran on in what became a 3 three-horse duel to the wire and was only beaten ahead. That was her first start in almost 2 months. She should really be primed for a good effort today in this spot.
You know, the horse we both have in second, number 2, I Will Be Free, is sitting on a good performance here, but this one returned from a 19-month layoff to finish a 5-wide second at this level and distance, despite the fact that the horse broke slowly in the start. But you don't know what to really expect. Second race off a long layoff like that. I just thought it was a real good performance the last time out, but to me, because of that unknown, makes the 5 Upbeat Mood look just a little bit better.
I completely agree 100%. That was my reasoning to a T. But that last performance, that was a bit of a wow performance for me, coming back from a 19-month break and finished behind a very quality filly in Katie's Kiss.
Yeah, I mean, it was, you wouldn't think that, so you don't know, a lot of horses, a lot of people subscribe, to a horse bouncing after coming off the long layoff and running a really good race and bouncing back. So we'll see how that works out. The other horse we both used on our ticket is another horse from Marty Wilson's barn, Texas Appeal. This one who showed speed in her minor 16th career debut back on March 20th. Now goes back to 5 furlongs on the grass. Merit consideration from the inside post. That was route speed last time out. Now she's going to need sprint speed. Tyler Gaffleone should be able to get her interested early. I don't know if she's going to be the pace setter, but I think with that tactical ability she has and that post and the jockey, that maybe she can go up there and if not, get the win, set it up nicely for an Upbeat Mood.
You always want to watch the other horse from the connections of the horse that you have on top. That's always an angle that you want to play. And she's the only 4-time winner in the field. Her turf form isn't as good as her dirt form, at least in the past, but she has run well on the grass. So there are some questions, but definitely a fit in this race.
Yeah, definitely a fit. I'm not big enamored when they go, showing speed long, a mile into 16, going back to 5 furlongs. I get tricked sometimes thinking the horse is going to be the speed, but that's route speed, like I said. But definitely a choice, a horse that you have to have on your exact and trifecta ticket. We're going to wrap it up today with race number 9. 5 furlongs on the grass, maiden claim is fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. Super high 5 in this race. Full field of 10 runners, and we want to go back and show you the performance last time out of number 9, Morgan Falls, who you have on top of your ticket.
Well, we talked about layoffs, and this one ran very well coming back from a 10-month layoff last time out. You're going to see her get in a 3-horse speed duel early. That is not the greatest thing that you want to see coming back from that much time off. You'd expect her to tire, but you know what? She goes on with it pretty well. Here she is taking the lead at the top of the stretch. You see the 7 was also dueling on the lead there. She does not fare well, and Morgan Falls runs on, and she is just edged out at the wire, going to miss by a half length. Those two there are just edged out by the 3 that gets up late. But I really liked that race. She took a huge drop for that race, and I think she's a class of the field and should be better second start off the layoff, unless, as we mentioned, she makes that bounce coming off so much time off.
Yeah, and I just think she found her proper level, from when she came back and ran exceptionally well in there. She definitely showed a fondness for sprinting on the grass in that particular race. But I did have to go with the horse you have in second. We got our exacta flip-flop. You feel this, Cornelius. This one is dropping to this $12,500 level after setting really swift fractions last time out, getting caught late. That was in a pair of 5 furlong turf sprints at the $25,000 level. Here it is, Kirk Zadie, strictly the one to beat, I thought, in here on the connections, but I am in a total agreement with you. I would not leave number 9, Morgan Falls, off my ticket.
Well, here's the key. This is a turf race. This is seemingly the only shot I have to beat Kirk Zadie, so I'm going to try, but you have to have it on the ticket.
The other horse I used was the 3 Moon, Solar Moon. This one is dropping to this $12,500 level. Responded last time out to the equipment change, got the blinkers off with a 5th place finish, beating 2 3/4 lengths. I think this horse is going to sit the trip behind the speed today, especially with the taking the blinkers off last time out. It should run pretty well.
I took a shot capping my ticket with the 4 Starship United, who's a first-time starter for trainer Steve Dwalskin, a daughter of Wildcat Air and the Grade 2 stakes player Miss United Nations. I like the pedigree on this one. Wildcat Air, sire of Daring Cathy, such a nice turf runner, especially here at Gulfstream. Dwalskin typically does not have his runners cranked first time out, but I really liked the pedigree and thought maybe she could get a small piece of this.
Well, we got the super high 5 in the last race. You got to pick the first 5 finishes in order, so we're about to turn the proceedings over to Trek announcer Pete Aiello, and before we go off, we want to say happy birthday to Brad. Today, Brad is 58 years old. Happy birthday, Brad.
Happy birthday, Brad.